I'm Chelsie Hill. I'm 18 years old. I was paralyzed by a drunk driver. I was a passenger of the car accident. We hit a tree. It was on February 21st of 2010, so it was 11 months ago.
You're dancing with the Wheelchairs Colours girls.
Yep.
And so can you talk just a little bit about how that happened and what you're doing this weekend?
Well, I met Auntie Angel at a fundraiser, and that's when I went up to her and I told her I used to be a dancer. And then she said, well, wait, you used to be a dancer. Once a dancer, always a dancer. So I tried out the next day and I made it, and so I'm the newest member of the Colours InMotion Dance Team. And it's basically like opened my eyes to show me that anything's possible, no matter if you're disabled or not. And so it really gave me a lot of hope and reassurance.
And we have to give a shout out to Colours Wheelchairs. Yeah. What's the hardest thing right now for you about being in the chair?
Just the height, not being at eye level with people and not being able to give someone like that full on like hug, and just having someone have to bend over and give me a hug. During my accident and like being in the hospital, just being able to go out and like help kids really motivated me to want to speak to schools about the consequences of drinking and driving, and drinking and making the wrong decision. That motivated me.
How would you like people to approach you?
Just like they would approach an able-bodied person, you know? I mean, just because like we're in a chair doesn't mean that we're different. We still have the same mentality of an able-bodied person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's important for people to hear that, because I think people get a little intimidated.
Yeah.
You're really easy to approach. You're beautiful. You're outgoing, and I think sometimes the community just wants permission because they don't feel comfortable with themselves, but obviously you're totally comfortable with who you are, which is key, and you exude that, and you make other people feel comfortable, which I think is a little bit ironic.
Yeah, you can go up to someone in a wheelchair and say hi, you know? I mean, just because we have these wheels, these cool wheels, you know, I mean, doesn't mean we're different. And
what would you like to see differently about the world?
I would like there to be more awareness about like people with a disability, because when I was an able-bodied person, I never really heard about the disabled world, you know? It's like a whole community, you know, like we're all together, and I'd love to be able to have the word spread out where I live, because I live in Monterey, and there's no like recovery places. You don't really see people with a disability, and so I'd love there to be something that like promotes it more, like up where I live. And
can you just share a little bit about how your community has supported you?
Yeah, I mean, like right from the start, it was like 5 teenagers, like 5 football players, 4 football players, 1 dancer got injured, and it hit the media just because we were high schoolers, we were seniors, you know, and like we played sports, and that hit the community hard. And just with all the support that I got was amazing, because like I tell everyone, is if I didn't have the support I did in the hospital, I would not be the person I am today, just because I had so many people coming to the hospital wanting to help me and support me and be there for me, and that really kept me going through like hard times.
Is there anything that you would like to share with everybody? What do you want people to know?
That I'm just like any other teenage person. I like to have a good time. I learned that during the car accident, I mean, you know, like I was just a teenager just like anyone else, you know, having a good time, and then a traumatic injury happened to my body, and then it's like my whole world just spun around. But I speak to schools, and I speak to high schools and seniors and juniors, and I've spoke to middle school students, I've spoke to dance teams about just like worship your body like it's everything, because once you lose something, it's like everything is different, you know? And never give up, because even if something terrible happens to you, you should never give up, because the only way that you'll fail is if you give up. And if you keep trying and keep pushing yourself, then you'll get there and you'll make your dreams come true.
Everybody needs to hear your story, because it's important, it's inspiring, and it hopefully encourages people to try hard no matter what they're doing.
Yeah.